Yeah, 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 yeah.
Greatest allies, we live in a time where you can check on your phone. So pull out your phone. Pardon me?
I have checked on my phone. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I won't be allowed to ask you this. So
It's okay. Let her go. Okay, tell me.
Kevin M. Cross has in fact shown you all the statistics that you claim are untrue. What you say about the Southern Democrats is not unknown. I am in fact an immigrant like you. I come from the same country that you come from. And I am not here to debate Democrat versus Republican. I am simply disappointed because you are producing facts that are simply not true.
Name one.
And you are not a historian. For example, the party realignment. You should just go check your own Twitter page. This has been...
Believe me, I have.
Yes, so have I. So have I. Yeah. And I can see that you've been missing...
Okay, let's pause. We need to situate what you're talking, because you're making references here that need to be brought out. There is a historian at Princeton named Kevin Cruz. And Cruz and I have been having a kind of a Twitter fight, if you will, about Dixiecrats. Now, Cruz plays...
First of all, who is this guy, man? I don't really know who this guy is. I'm assuming, I thought he was a college professor, which is why I decided to watch the video. Because I was just imagining, I would never yell at none of my professors, bro. Well, they would have to do something. They would have to do something to me. But, bro, I would never yell at any of my professors in school. So I just want to see, like, this student go off, because I can't even imagine.
It's a very sly game. He counts as Dixiecrats people who are not Dixiecrats. And so if I say to him, only 2 racist Dixiecrats became Republicans, he goes, what about John Tower? What about Jesse Helms? What about Trent Lott? And my response is, don't be an idiot. We're talking about Dixiecrats. None of those were...
History. He cannot be an idiot.
I'm not, hold on.
This is literally his research.
It's not his research. He has written one book on white flight in Atlanta. Hold on. Hold on. Let's...
You've asked him to debate him. You've asked him to debate him, but I can inform you, Mr. D'Souza, that this is not how how academics works. You can write a paper, he writes a paper. I can speak.
What is she talking about, bruh? Shawty geeking. I'm not even gonna lie.
Guys, hold on. I think what he's trying to say is that somewhat like the illegal, you want to jump the line. And no, hold on. Hold on. Don't shout. Well, don't heckle me. 1 second. First of all, I was the person who said let her speak. No, I didn't cut her off. Okay. All right. Hold on. I'm going to do one more thing. And that is there anybody who's in the audience that wants to ask me a question about the posters on the campus? Because if they do, I'm happy to directly address. I obviously can't address. There was a kind of a blizzard of things out there. Some of them actually not even said by me. But nevertheless, if anyone wants to take a shot, I think it's kind of a nice way to close the evening. If one person wants to ask a question related to, oh, this guy, okay, he's ready. And we'll pick him as a representative of the resistance. Okay, go for it. Go for it.
About you worked for the Reagan administration, obviously, for a while. I want to read you a quote from your former boss. It says, talking about immigrants in a speech, they brought with them courage, ambition, and the values of family, neighborhood, work, peace, and freedom. And then he goes on to talk about how immigrants are making this country great, and then he says make America great again. I'm wondering what your own former boss would say about you now.
So the question is, quoting Reagan, my hero, and a lot of the reason I became a conservative.
Ronald Reagan?
About how immigrants are entrepreneurial, hardworking, pro-family, and the question, and I just want to excavate the buried assumption of the question. how disappointed your former boss would be in you now. Now, I would submit that nobody would ask a question like that who actually was listening to what I said tonight. I actually believe that immigrants are hardworking, industrious, entrepreneurial. I said I would like to see the number of legal immigrants in this country increased. I would like to see our immigration policy modified to take far more of those kinds of immigrants. My position on immigration is thoroughly and completely Reaganite. Now, what gets me is when I hear things that revolt against what I know and also against common sense. And so there are things that people will sometimes say, like, immigrants created this country and built this country. True, but only partially true, because that distinction confuses actually two groups that are not the same: immigrants and settlers. Settlers. Colonizers, if you will. Colonizers. Okay, let's call them colonizers. Colonizers. Here's the important thing. Colonizers create... Why are you shouting?
Bro, why are the college kids so unruly, bro? Like, I get it. Because if you don't agree with him, you're well within your rights. Because you are in college. Like, you form your own opinions. You don't got to agree with everybody you listen to. You don't have to 100%, without a doubt, support everything your professor says. However, you have to still have the same basic respect to a professor or to an adult. I mean, you still are an adult, but it's just the same basic level of respect. You yelling out stuff in the class, storming off, yelling at him. Bro, I don't see the point of doing any of that. I really don't.
Don't. Hold on. It's not, we can have a whole debate on that, but let me address your point. Colonizers create the country that immigrants want to come to. Think of that paradox right there. In other words, if the colonizers were such horrible guys and have done...
He has a point. I never even thought about it like that, bro. He has a point. Like, how could you be so mad at people who basically built the country but also want to come here? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense, man. If somebody can answer that question, I pinned the comment. I pinned the comments. How could you be so mad about people who are here, but you want to also come here? Somebody answer.
Such a botched up job of creating this country, why on earth today do immigrants from all over the world still want to come here? Why do we even have to talk about a wall in the knowledge that if we didn't have a wall, half the world would come here? What was it about those colonizers, despite their colonization, that was so powerful that 150 years later, the country that they made is still the magnet for the world? So immigrants like me will jump over fences, stand in lines, pay a lot of money, abandon our families to come to the country the colonizers made. Now, all right, let's make this the last question in fairness, and I will have extended the time. Go for it. The mic is yours.
Why is it that the very descendants of the people that lived here before colonizers came in are the ones that are almost the most marginalized in this country and systematically suffering because of that?
Yes, I'll try to answer that as best I can. The condition of the American Indians, historically, we have to look at it twofold: historically and today. Historically, it was the Indian Wars, the broken treaties by the white man, the wounded knee, the battles, the massacres. It was also a plethora of diseases that spread through the Indian population brought by the white man, and that decimated the American Indian population. No, that's not true. There's a debate about Jeffrey Amherst, and there's a controversial episode there. But look, diseases, there's a book I recommend to you by the historian William McNeill. It's called Plagues and Peoples. It talks about how massive populations have been decimated historically by diseases brought by outsiders. For example, the Black Plague in Europe killed 1/3 of the entire continent, brought from Asia, unintentionally. Now, I'm not going to say that's genocide, because genocide implies a deliberate intention to exterminate an entire population. That's why the use of the term genocide is very irresponsible on your part in this case. You don't think so? You think and
You don't think so, bro. These kids are kind of arrogant. I wouldn't even call them kids because you're an adult if you're in college. These people are arrogant, bro. Like, how could you be wrong and still be like, well, I don't think so? But then again, maybe the dude is right, though. Like, maybe the student is right. Maybe he's not wrong. I don't know. You sound wrong to me, though. But I don't know much about politics, but you sound wrong to me, bro.
And I'm going to ask you now for your evidence that there was a conscious intention to wipe out the Indians as a people. Chapter and verse. Let's hear it.
So, what do you say about the very thing that this institution was initially founded on, about essentially whitewashing the Native Americans? And then that was, of course, abandoned, but all of these things. But what do you say about, like, the foundational thing for Indian schools that were created, and then there were things about headhunting Indians and prizes for that money? Like, there was a clear incentivization by both the U.S. government and just by people to be able to take over the property, well, you know, the land, the things that people had here before the colonizers came.
So Eliezer Wheelock leaves Yale and comes up here into the woods of New Hampshire to set up a college to Christianize and educate the native Indians. Are you saying that he wanted to exterminate them?
I think that's a questionable, it's based in something else. So it has to do with, you know, understanding culture and whether or not you can actually, you know, help someone by Christianizing them.
Right, but pause for a moment, because
Thought I heard something behind me. But why is everything gotta be so subjective, man? Why is everything gotta be like, well, it depends on whatever the crap, bro? Here's my thing, man. If your points were a little more concrete, like if you were a little more sure on what you were saying, people would probably take you serious a little more. But everything that you say is just so, or everything that the students were saying was just so, well, what if this happened? Well, what if that happened? Bro, be a little more concrete, man. Because somebody like me who just trying to like learn more about this, bro, I can't even take you that serious, because what is your points? Like, what are you trying to say? You're not really saying anything. But yeah, if y'all have any more suggestions, comment them down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.